Most agents are buying the wrong traffic. This is why they get frustrated with crap leads that are hard to convert. The difference between quality leads that convert and leads that never produce is two simple words. So we'll be covering the difference in the two I's, the words that can produce a 300+% ROI versus keeping you busy, spending unnecessary time and money. How new construction and luxury new construction buyers leave clues. You just have to know where to look. And the one ad platform that makes more sense once you understand your numbers, know your buyer value, and have a reliable follow-up system. Let's go.
Build your dream today. We show you the way. Luxury leads come to play. New homes here to stay. Marketing's our game. Elevate your name. Reach for the fame. Never just the same. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains. Digital wave we ride. Strategies we provide. No need to hide. Success is on your side. Close deals like a pro. Watch your profits grow. High standards we show. Feel that golden glow. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains. Digital wave we ride. Strategies we provide. No need to hide. Success is on your side. Close deals like a pro. Watch your profits grow. High standards we show. Feel that golden glow. We're the iconic agent. New construction's our lane. Teaching you the secrets for luxury gains.
All right, hello, welcome. It's August 12th, 2026, and this is your Wednesday midweek tune-up, your quick midweek calibration for new construction, real estate, marketing, and mindset momentum every Wednesday at 1:30. Here's how these calls work. These are the what? This is a one-way conversation. Even though you'll see some folks on Zoom, this is a one-way conversation. We get in, we give you actionable information you can take away and work with right now. Then we get out. Tell you what to do and what's working. The how, the interactive two-way conversation, and the step-by-step how to do what we're talking about here, that's over at the New Home Marketing Insiders. That's what to do, how to do it with support, Q&A, community, and additional training. So if you're new here, I am Damon Greene, and
I am Nathaniel Crawford.
we are the founders of The Iconic Agent. We've been helping agents such as yourselves attract and sell more new construction and luxury new construction buyers since 2017, to the tune of well over $400 million in additional sales since 2020. And these calls are no gatekeeping. We're telling you exactly what we're doing. We're telling you what's working. If you want the archives of previous episodes and the resources from this episode or previous or future episodes, you can go over to theiconicagent.com/tune-up. If you're watching this on YouTube or LinkedIn, if you head on over there, you can get on the list and be notified every time we post the replays as well as what's coming up. If you have questions, you have two options. You can wait and join the free monthly AMA coaching support call the last Tuesday of every month. That's from 6 p.m. till whenever. Or you can ask now in the New Home Marketing Insiders, where you get 24/7 access to ask questions and answer questions coaching, case studies, training, resources, and tools. If you head on over to theiconicagent.com/insider, you can get more details there. Also, if you are in the Atlanta area, we still have a few spots left for the AI Marketing Foundation's workshop, which some of what we're going to talk about today is what we're covering here at the AI Marketing Foundation's workshop. Don't let the foundations fool you. I guarantee you, you're not doing this. About 90% of agents are not doing what we're going to teach you here. But we're going to build live your buyer intelligence blueprint. So it's a hands-on workshop. It's not a lecture. It's tomorrow. It's in Buckhead, Atlanta. If you would like to join, it is in person only. It's not virtual. I know we've got a handful, not even a handful, because we only have a small number. I think we got maybe 2 spots left that are available. So if you go to theiconicagent.com/foundations, you can get details there. Again, that's in person only. There's no replay. It's a live event. All right, so today's topic. For agents wanting to sell more new construction quicker, a lot of them are buying the wrong traffic and listening to the wrong people. They're running ads to people who might be interested instead of getting in front of buyers who are actually looking. There's a huge difference. So, the old belief, all traffic and lead generation is basically the same. You just get leads and I'm going to close them, whatever price points. That's the regular folk thinking. The new thinking and the consideration is the platform absolutely matters. Buyer intent absolutely matters. And the best traffic is not always the cheapest traffic, but it is the traffic that's closest to making a decision. So here's the shift. You have someone, and I've talked to thousands of agents, talked to agents regularly, and the first thing that comes out of their mouth is, oh yeah, I'm running Facebook ads, or I have somebody run Facebook ads. Zig, while everybody else is zagging. Someone scrolling Facebook who clicks on a pretty house is not the same as someone typing new construction homes for sale. They're not like us. One person is distracted. The other person is giving massive clues. That's what we're talking about today. So this is part 4 of the paid traffic math series. The 2 I's that I was talking about in the 2 words, interest versus intent, and why Google Ads becomes the next logical step. So here I am going to bring down the slides, and now Nate and I are just going to have the conversation. So let me change this view here to speaker view, multi-speaker view. All right, cool. So Nate, how are you doing today, sir? I haven't really chopped it up with you today.
Another day in paradise, man. Trying to put in the work.
All right, awesome. So let's get started. Now, some of y'all are watching on Facebook, and we know a lot of agents are like, yes, Facebook. Now, don't get me wrong. If you know how to market on Facebook, you can really make Facebook work. However, we don't talk a lot about Facebook, and it's not because you can't make the ads work. It's just harder. And Facebook is interest-based. So interest is different than intent. We're going to dive deeper into that. And most agents are doing something or trying something. So one of the things, if you're going to get Facebook to work, you have to know who your buyer is. You have to have buyer intelligence, which is what tomorrow's workshop is about. And over the Insiders, we have a whole 3-part series on buyer intelligence that will show you how to put together your buyer intelligence blueprint. But you have to know who you're talking to, really want to make Facebook work well. Facebook also has a lot more moving parts. You have to worry about the images, the copy, the creative, targeting, and then a landing page, or you're going to use lead ads. There's a whole plethora of stuff that you got to figure out. Feedback here. All right. It's a whole plethora of stuff you got to make work, especially if you're new. So you also have way less control over your price point. Now, before somebody comes up like, well, there's discrimination and all. Nope, doesn't matter. Google has discrimination. They also have criteria for discrimination. We're following the rules. We're above board here, but you have less control over your price point on Facebook. Every other agent is on Facebook. I've talked to agents. They schedule time with us, which this shows you how much agents don't pay attention. They're like, yeah, what you guys are talking about how to use Facebook to get new construction, right? It's like, yeah, you didn't pay attention. Nope, that's not what we're doing. But every other agent's there. And again, I have a phrase that I say, I have zero problem taking candy from a baby as long as no babies got hurt. So while all of y'all are over there on Facebook trying to figure that out, we're over here making it work on Google. I'll tell you more about that. But every other agent, I do not believe in following the suit of everybody else. I like to go the opposite direction. And then no buyer has ever gone to Facebook looking for new construction homes or luxury new construction homes. They stumble on it. Again, Facebook is interest and Facebook is interruption marketing. So interest, and Nate, I know you have a good analogy here. Interest doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to buy. It just means you're interested. So I'm going to give you a case in point. I got an Android phone. Yes, I'm Android. Judge me all you want to. All right, so I'm going through and I have Android brings up news and stuff you got. And let me see here. What's the top thing I have here? So this is my interest. Why is it open? Sylvester Stallone buys a $25 million Hampton Estates for his daughters. It's real estate related, so my interest is real estate related. I'm not Stallone's cool, but that's interest. Oh, that might be interesting. I'll read about it, but I'm not going to call Sylvester Stallone. I'm not going to go rent a movie. I'm not going to try to go to the Hamptons, but that's my interest. So that interrupted me. That's interruption marketing. That's exactly what Facebook is. Now, there's a lot of other interests. Nate, I know you have a couple of analogies around the interest part versus the intent.
Oh yeah. Well, just doing due diligence, right? So if I'm interested in, I don't know, Cullinan, I look at pretty pictures of Cullinans. I go watch pretty videos of Cullinans.
What's a Cullinan? I don't think they're not car people. So what's a Cullinan?
Okay, a Rolls Royce SUV. So if I'm looking at, I just look at pretty pictures. I peruse them. I go click around on Facebook looking at pretty pictures. If I want to buy one, I go to the dealership. Right. So what we're helping people to understand here is the intent behind a specific behavior. So what are the buyer behaviors that you want to find that someone is going to do? What actions are they going to take when they're further down that funnel versus you catching them, at the top of that funnel when they're really not really interested, or they may be interested. It's just bad context, right? So if you're in the middle of, chatting with one of your friends from high school and looking at pictures on Facebook, oh, you see this ad and you click on it. Yeah, okay, whatever. And then you go back to chatting with your friends, right? So you don't, when whoever that is tries to follow up with you, they're like, no, I didn't click no ad, because they weren't thinking about it. They were just, little bright, shiny object type of thing. The goal is to get in front of people who are actively looking for the service that we provide and then follow up with them in a way that maintains that momentum, not distract them from something else. They were looking at some pretty cat videos and expect them to shift gears into buying house mode.
And here's something else, which is a real thing, and it took some investigation for me to figure this out, because we run Facebook ads, and Facebook ads has its place depending on, again, you got to know your ideal client. You got to know what they do and how they operate. Well, backwards planning and looking at it, I'm like, why are all these leads? It's weird. What happens is we're in, I guess, Nate, our kids are older, are grown, so we don't know what this is about. You caught the tail end of the digital economy, like the social media economy, where they're ingrained in. But nowadays, babies grow up with phones in their hand. And whose phone do they have? They have their parents' phone. So if they're on scrolling around, and Facebook does not, this is what you have to understand, especially if you don't know how to run Facebook ads. And I'm not even going to go through. It's just one and two, actually two settings that you have to change if you're running Facebook ads, and you'll save yourself a whole lot of money. But that's a whole nother story. Facebook ads run on sites off of Facebook too if you don't know the right settings. So if you're on a baby shark video, your new construction ads coming up and people are clicking on it. The people are kids, or kids are playing games on their parents' phone. That's costing you clicks. You might even get leads coming up, and then you call a person like, "What are you talking about?" It's because their grandkid or their kid had the phone, especially if you're doing lead ads. That's a problem. So that's the other side of that. That's why Facebook can kind of be like, it's not the greatest lead source unless you know how to run Facebook ads and you know who you're talking to. But we kind of went into it, but I wanted to clarify interest versus intent. So when we talk about interest, we're talking about Facebook, Instagram, TikTok a little bit. They're kind of like a hybrid. Then when we're talking about intent, Google and YouTube, because YouTube is a search engine. So if you think about it this way, what's the difference in the two? Interest and intent. I am interested in a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, Hamptons real estate. Actually, I know why the Hamptons came up because I'm working a project where people are leaving the Hamptons to go to this project. That's why that came up. So there's interest there. Now I'm thinking through it. It makes sense why that popped up. And with intent, it's I intend to, boom, buy a home in Buckhead, Georgia, or Buckhead, Atlanta. I am interested in, or I intend to. That's the difference in the two. So interest, I'm not moving to the Hamptons. I have no desire to move there. I really have no desire to go to the Hamptons, but it's part of a project I'm working on. So the interest, they're like, oh, well, you were looking at the Hamptons, so here's another piece of content. Oh, that's great. I'm not really interested. I am, but I'm not. Versus intend to, 2,000, 3,000 square foot home in the Hamptons. I'm looking for a 2,000 square foot home in the Hamptons. That's the difference. Intent versus interest. So actively looking is the key. So just think about it this way. Intent is expectations. Interest is I'm curious. Nate, what you got to add to that?
Yeah, well, I think you hit it right on the head. Right, we want people who are taking the actions because they intend to move down that funnel. Right, everyone's interested in a whole lot of stuff. I'm interested in the upcoming eclipse. That doesn't mean I want to go to the moon. Right, so there are specific actions that you should know about, or specific criteria that need to be met for you to be able to get in front of the people who are going to take action the fastest, and you're not losing money on garbage clicks because you're not targeting the appropriate people in the appropriate place.
And to segue, let's talk about Google. Buyers leave clues, and those clues show intent. So what do we mean by that? There's tools you can use. Google Keyword Planner, Keywords Everywhere, Keyword Tool. There's a bunch of keyword tools. There's too many to name. They all pull from the same basic place. You can get a sentiment, you get an idea of what people are looking for, and based on what they're looking for, you get an idea of their intent. What do I mean? So, Nate, if I'm typing in new homes in Tampa, what am I looking for?
New homes in Tampa.
If I type in new homes for sale in Midtown Atlanta, what am I looking for?
There you go. New homes in Midtown Atlanta. Like, that's the point.
And new construction condos in Miami for sale.
You're looking for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's the intent. So the keywords people are searching for are showing you what their intent is. So would you rather just randomly show up in somebody's feed, or would you rather show up when I'm looking for new construction homes in your area, or a specific community, Porsche Tower penthouse in Aventura for sale? Which one would you rather show up for? So everybody's playing in the Facebook pool, and there's way less in the Google pool. And mind you, Google is easier to set up and faster to get results quicker. But let me give you a little insight into Google, some facts about Google. you can, if you are one of those agents that are like, man, you know, business is kind of slowed a little bit. It's all this new construction going on around us, and we really want to sell it, and it's being built and it's being sold. And from what we hear, over 60%, you know, Nate throws numbers higher than this, and they are, but I like to be conservative. 60% of the sales are made from agents. What the heck are these agents doing to get these buyers? Now, yes, there are people on Facebook. There's a bunch of other ways to do it. I like the simplest way that just logically makes sense. You can do it. If you're running Facebook ads and it's working for you, great. But if you have no idea and you're like, I have with a rock star agent, like she's been in the game for 20 years and her track record is crazy. She's like, I don't really want to be on social media, and you don't have to be. Does it help? Absolutely, but you don't have to be. Because here's the deal, and if you're one of those agents that's like, I'm stuck in the 250s to 400s, I want to go higher. I want to raise my price point, but I don't have the people, I don't have the pipeline to do that. With Google, you can choose any price point you want. You pick the price point and you can target that price point. It's literally that simple. Now, there's skeptics that are like, well, it's not, it's literally that simple. You're just not taught this. Now you guys have new information. You can use this new information to say, oh, 2, you can choose any area you want to be in. If you have specific areas you want to be in, you can choose them. Doesn't matter zip code, doesn't matter, you know, the fair housing, because we're not making any fair housing violations. We're just picking an area. But they, even though they don't let you do certain, you can only do a certain radius, you can still pick areas if you know how to use Google. And let's go back to what we just talked about. The buyers leave clues. If you can read those clues and you understand how to run Google ads, you can choose your area. There's way less moving parts. All you need is the buyer demand, like where people searching and looking for. You got to write an ad and you need a landing page and your follow-up. That's it. There's no bunch of creatives. We're not rotating ads in and out. We're not testing a bunch of ads because the testing of ads is built in. It's way simpler and you can go to market faster. It's easier to run. It's completely different than Facebook. There's way less competition because agents don't like Google because the leads cost more. That's the number one thing we hear. Well, I heard Google ads cost more. And I'm going to give you specific examples, live examples that we're working with right now with the lead costs. And it's going to scare some of y'all. But if you go back to the last part 3 and part 2 of this series, when you understand part 2 and 3 of the series, the lead cost is irrelevant. It does not matter if you know how to run your ads right. And then with Google, you can get super targeted completely. I just got off the phone about 2 hours ago with the same agent, the Rockstar agent that is in South Carolina, and she was talking about she wants to target 55 plusers. I was like, ooh, with your buyer intelligence blueprint plus understanding the intent, we can totally do that. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a tip. So if you're running Facebook ads, listen very well. Now on the Insider, we might actually go through and walk through how to do this and other ways to do this. But there's only gonna be some of y'all that are gonna get this, but this is gold. When you're running Google ads, drop your Facebook pixel on all your pages. Nate, tell them why. Just give them a little bit. Don't give them the whole thing. Just give them a little bit.
But this is how you make sure you get in front of them at the right time with the right message without wasting a bunch of money. That makes sense if you're in the Insider.
It's the most targeted Facebook. Well, it's the most targeted way you can get Facebook to work for you. Put it that way. All right. So now with Google, Google is simple, as I mentioned, and it's predictable if you know your numbers. I want to warn you, if you like to be busy just to be busy, or you're cheap, it's got a higher lead cost, you'll get less leads for the same ad budget, but you can control the intent, you can control the price point, and you get a way faster ROI. Now, we just relaunched. If you're not familiar with Google, we just relaunched. We did this back right when the pandemic popped up. We did it for probably 3 years, but we're relaunching our done for you new construction and luxury new construction Google ads. And hold on a second, because I got somebody knocking on my door. Nate, keep them entertained for a second.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, the thing to be mindful of when you're talking about targeting is that there are a lot of layers when it comes to being able to leverage the power of different platforms when you understand which each one of those platforms are very, very good at. Like, so, when you're looking at, say, a Instagram or a Facebook, that's a different level of targeting than, say, a Google. But when you combine those two things together, you can make a lot of progress.
Yes, if y'all hear fire alarms go off, I got the fire alarm people here doing their fire alarm thing. So we're about to hop off anyway. But so back to what I was saying. So we're doing the done for you again. We'll set all this up for you, but you got to be an insider. Book a call, join the insider, book a call, and we'll walk through that. But I want to give you some real numbers because I know I scared people with less leads, higher lead costs. 2 campaigns, currently run them. One of them has to do with the Hamptons ad I talked about earlier. So we need 120 leads. Again, go back to episode 2 and 3 of the series. We'll walk through the process. 120 leads, okay? You should be able to close the deal out of 120 leads, right? So lead cost $20.86 per lead. If you multiply that 120, you're looking at about 2,500. So let's just round up to $3,000. The minimum sale at this specific spot is 1.5 million. They're only paying 2.5% boohoo, which is a measly $37,000. So $20 a lead, got to drop about $3,000 and make $37,000. It's kind of a no-brainer. That's all that matters. I'm not going into detail on that. You have to be on the insider or watch past episodes to really understand this, or you get it. If you get it, let's have a conversation. Now we have another campaign. Lead cost was around $13, went up to $78. We had to make some changes. I'm not going to go into that. Take 120 leads, $9,458 to get 120. Let's make that 12,000. Got to invest $12,000. Cheapest thing there is 1.5, but they're paying 6%. So that's $90,000. So 12,000 out. Bye-bye. 90,000 back. That's all that matters. And that second one, we've got about an $11 million pipeline. Just got to get some folks to make some decisions. That's the power of Google Ads. And this was in less than 4 months that pipeline was there. So that's the power of Google. All right, so let's jump over here. All right, so the resources for this conversation. If you like these resources and in depth and have a conversation on how we can set up your Google ads so that you can, number one, have it set up right and start attracting new construction, luxury new construction buyers within the next 45 days, or Q&A around the content, join the New Home Marketing Insiders. And you can join over here, scan this QR code, or go to this website, theiconicagent.com/insider. And you can book a call straight from there. As soon as you sign up, you can book a call. We can have a conversation and walk through this process with you. But we will see you on the next one. And Nate, you want to take them out? You haven't been here in a while. Give them the benediction, sir.
Appreciate y'all coming out. Have a great day. God bless y'all. Go get the money.
Digital wave we ride, strategies we provide. No need to hide, success is on your side. Close deals like a pro, watch your profits grow. High standards we show.